Okay, let's dive into a topic that is absolutely reshaping our world as we speak. AI governance. As this tech gets more and more powerful, the question of how we actually control it isn't just important anymore, it's become urgent. I mean, think about it. AI isn't some futuristic idea. It's here. It's in our phones, it's helping run our workplaces, it's even in our cars. But as it weaves itself into everything we do, this really fundamental question just keeps popping up, and we absolutely can't afford to ignore it. With all this incredible power, is it actually safe? The truth is, AI is a classic double-edged sword. On one side, you have this amazing promise, right? We're talking about incredible efficiency, progress, real value. But on the flip side, we've all seen the headlines. Chatbots that just make stuff up, hiring tools that are biased, and the huge potential for misinformation. The danger here is every bit as real as the promise. So, to really get a handle on these risks, we've got to pop the hood and see how these things actually work. And honestly, it's probably simpler than you think, and it shows us exactly where things can go off the rails. Okay, so it really just boils down to a simple three-step flow. First, it all starts with human-generated data. I mean, tons of it. That's the food for the system. Second, you have the AI model itself, which is basically just super engineered code, and its job is to learn patterns from all that data. And finally, number three, the model spits out a decision or a prediction. See the pattern here? It all starts and ends with people. And that quote right there, it just hits the nail on the head. AI isn't some magical, separate intelligence. It's literally a mirror reflecting us. It learns from our data, so it picks up on our good reasoning, sure, but also our inconsistencies, our blind spots, and, yep, our biases. The risks we see in AI are, at their core, human risks, just amplified on a massive scale by technology. So it makes sense, right? If the risks come from us, the solution has to come from us too. And that's where this whole idea of AI governance comes in. It's a strategy designed to manage these exact risks. So what is it exactly? Well, the best way to think about AI governance is like a set of guardrails on the innovation highway. It's the whole framework of rules and standards that keeps us safe from going off a cliff, but also points us in the right direction, making sure we're building and using this tech responsibly. And this is so important because it completely reframes the whole conversation. Governance isn't about slamming the brakes on progress. No way. It's actually the bridge that lets us safely get from AI's incredible potential to real, tangible value without falling into all the traps along the way. It's what makes innovation sustainable. All right, so what are these guardrails actually protecting us from? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the 4 biggest dangers that good governance is built to prevent. Okay, first up, and this is a big one, is algorithmic bias. Since AI learns from data that we humans created, it doesn't just reflect our society's biases. It can actually internalize them and then amplify them. And that can lead to some seriously unfair outcomes in really important areas, like a hiring system that favors men or a loan system that discriminates based on old biased data. Number 2, data privacy breaches. This is a huge one. Without the right oversight, AI systems can just gobble up massive amounts of information and in the process, accidentally expose sensitive personal info or even copyrighted stuff. We're talking about privacy violations on a scale we have just never seen before. Third, we've got the infamous black box problem. This is where some of the most powerful AI models get so complex that, get this, even the people who built them can't fully explain why it made a certain decision. And when you can't explain the why, trust just evaporates. It makes being accountable, especially in fields like healthcare or finance, pretty much impossible. And finally, there's something called model drift. You see, AI models aren't set in stone. They can actually get less accurate over time because the real world keeps changing and new data doesn't look like the old data it was trained on. It's kind of like using a 10-year-old map. Without constant checks, a model that used to be great can start making some dangerously wrong predictions. Okay, so because of these dangers, which are obviously very real, the world is finally starting to respond. We're seeing a global regulatory landscape take shape pretty quickly, and it's setting new rules of the road for the age of AI. And you can see this happening by looking at 2 of the biggest frameworks out there. Over in the US, you've got the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, which is more of a voluntary, guideline-based approach. But then you look at the European Union, and their AI Act is a whole different ballgame. It's a legal thing with mandatory rules and big penalties if you don't comply. The approaches are different for sure, but the message is crystal clear. Accountability is coming. So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway from all this. The days of companies just kind of regulating themselves and treating AI ethics like a friendly suggestion, well, those days are over. We are moving headfirst into an era of legal enforcement. Responsible AI isn't just a nice idea anymore, it's becoming a legal requirement.
And that really brings us to the final point here. Embracing governance isn't about being afraid of AI. It's about being smart. It's about charting a confident path forward and innovating with, well, a compass.
And when you do it right, good governance is so much more than just preventing bad things from happening. It actually builds trust with your customers. It lowers your legal and financial risks. It makes sure your outcomes are ethical. And when you do all that, you unlock the real sustainable value the AI promised in the first place. So when you boil it all down, it really comes back to this one powerful idea. AI without governance is like a ship with a huge engine but no rudder. It's powerful, yeah, but it's directionless, and frankly, it's dangerous. It's innovation without a conscience. And that is an ethical risk that is just way too big for any of us to ignore.